Hi, I'm Granny B, and I'm from Fort Smith, Arkansas. I'm standing on my back porch, and I'm going to show you a little bit of our harvest today. We're going to harvest some vegetables out of the garden, and I'm going to make supper with it later. But first, a couple of weeks ago, remember we got our sunflowers. And so I'm going to show you what, now that they're dry, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with them. This was the pollen. When they were fresh, the bees would come and they'd get all over this pollen. So once they're good and dry, we just take them and just put your thumbnail underneath there and pop them out. That's just how easy it is to save sunflower seeds. Now you can save these to hull. You could roast them, hull them, eat them raw, or just feed them to the birds. But these are the giant Russian sunflowers, and so I'm going to save a whole bunch of the seed just to plant again. We've gotten plenty of jalapenos and a couple of cucumbers, some spaghetti squashes, and a red bell pepper. Now we'll go down and I'll show you what we're going to do in the garden. Here we have 3 spaghetti squashes hiding in the grass. They're ready to harvest. 1, 2, 3. Up underneath here we have some cantaloupes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a cantaloupe and a cantaloupe. Now this is one cantaloupe vine, and it came up voluntarily, and we've already harvested some, so we're real happy with the way it tasted, and I am saving seeds for you. And I was thinking we were going to harvest one of these cantaloupes today. Let's see, which one is it? This one. This one right here. See how the stem is wanting to pull away? It's cracking around the stem. So we're going to take this one. We're going to have it for our supper tonight. Pretty. There. Now you can see that cracking on the stem. Oh, there was a really pretty okra bloom here. Can you get a close-up of that, darling? Okra blooms are some of the prettiest flowers.
Got it, boss.
Okie doke. Bruce mowed this morning, so these are kind of hairy, but this is comfrey. I'm going to be digging up this comfrey today because someone asked for a comfrey, and I think it's finally getting cool enough to where I would risk putting a comfrey root in the mail and sending it to her. She's in Montana. She just had a freaky snowstorm. Can you believe it? This is October 1st, isn't it?
Yep.
Wow. Anyway, I was watching S.A. gardener, the sapper gardener, Ron, and he was talking about his sweet potato harvest. And I told him I had forgotten that you can eat the potato leaves. And so we didn't get any spinach this year, so I told him I was going to come out and pick some sweet potato leaves. We're going to have sweet potato leaves for our supper. And I also said, you know, I read things or hear things, then I forget about it until I actually do it. Once I do it, then it kind of sticks with me. But we're going to have sweet potato greens for supper. Now we're going to go over there, and I'll show you what we've done to the big cabinet that we got from my dad's garage. My last video was about getting this cabinet here, and I told you I was going to use it for my potting table. Well, it's kind of, I don't have it organized yet, but this is it, and eventually I'll have it where I want it. But what I'm really excited about today is right over here. Papa Pepper sent me the seeds for these items. Malabar spinach, and I'm going to gather some of it today because it's looking real good, and it's beginning to bloom. See the pretty little bloom? Can you zero in on that, darling?
Hang on. Let me get over here.
This is Malabar spinach, and it has some little blooms on it. So I'm going to pick some of that today, and we'll see how we like it. But the big deal that I'm so happy about are these snake gourds. I can't believe how fast they've grown. And before they get any bigger, I want to harvest some of them. We're going to have them for supper. If they're not already too big, I don't know. I'm not sure when to pick them. But here's this one, and it is 29 inches long. And this one is 27 inches long. Here's a baby one, and there's a baby one. You see them? But this thing has just covered this arch already. And we just got these seeds July 25th. And this is the green noodle beans. I had planted them, and every one of them had sprouted, and then something came and bit them off. But they came back from the stem, and so now they're beginning to want to grow up here. Look at this, how this is just going everywhere. Oh, and it's so cool underneath here. Oh, look here, the stinging nettle. This was from Tammy at Little Jordan Farm, and it's starting to put on seeds now. So I'm going to save some of those seeds. Oh, here, Bruce and I were watching about someone had harvested their goldenrod. And so we got some goldenrod, and we're going to start trying to make tea from it and see what we think about that. Anything that we can do that is a natural thing, we like that. I'm going to hold the camera and let you get the snake gourds, okay? There's number one. Thank you, dear. There's number two. Thank you, sweetheart. And we'll give you a taste test and let you know what we think about snake gourds. Hello, it's Granny B. We're on in the house now, and I'm going to get supper going. On Sunday, we had a group of people from our Bible study come over. They had helped Papa Bruce out at the old Oklahoma residence, and they did a wonderful job of a good work day. So I fed them T-bone steaks and baked potatoes, but they had to save their T-bone steak for me, their T-bone for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is get these bones out, and we're going to start boiling them down because I'm going to use part of this in my supper. But there's a bunch of big old bones in here. So we're going to get them going. I said I was going to gather up some Malabar spinach, and there's the Malabar spinach leaf. Isn't that pretty? And so I picked this many. That I'm going to mix that in a salad tonight, just a raw green salad. And then I'm going to cook the sweet potato leaves. So here's the sweet potato leaves. And then I'm going to do something with these snake gourds. I've never cooked them. I'm not sure if I left them on too long. If they're not any good, we'll just chunk them up and put them in the compost pit. But I'll taste of them and see what we think. And I hope I haven't lost them already. But that's all we're going to do for now, and I'll bring you back whenever we get further along. Thank you again. Okay, we're done. How many of you remember Hee Haw and Grandpa Jones? He would always stand at a window and he'd say, everybody would say, "What's for supper, Grandpa?" And Grandpa would dab his face and he'd go, cornbread and chicken and gravy and whatever. Well, that's what we're having tonight too. We did this Snake Gourd, and I have done it every way I wanted to do it, just plain to start with, because I wanted to see what we thought about it. But now that we have tried it in these various ways, we are very happy with it. It just raw, it tastes like a sweet yellow squash with a hint of cucumber. So let me show you what I did, because I didn't know how big it needed to be, but this is about the size I used in the stir fry and in the stewed. I have stir fried it with just butter, salt, and pepper. I stewed it with onions, salt, pepper, and butter, just plain as I could do it. I've stir fried it, I've stewed it, just plain as I could. This was looking a little big, so I used the bigger pieces in the stewed part. This is what it looks like cut in half. That's what it looks like cut in quarters. And so I put quarters in there. And then this small size was perfect for the stir fry. And it is all so good. And Papa Pepper is the one who turned us on to this. So thank you, Papa Pepper. Here I'm having salad. We're having salad with Malabar spinach in it, raw. And then here I have marinated some of the smaller tender chunks, and we're going to use them like cucumbers on the salad. I just put this in a balsamic vinaigrette. And so we're going to put some of those on our salad. And honey, do you want to taste one of these by itself?
Not right now.
Okay.
For supper.
But anyway, it is good. Anyway, I have eaten it. So we're going to dish some up. Dish up some of these. It's a little bit of a different kind of supper tonight. All right. Then, this is the sweet potatoes that I've cooked like spinach. And I just did it salt, pepper, and butter. But oh, it's so good. And so then I also cooked up some of the Malabar spinach just to taste it as if it's spinach. And it tastes just like spinach, I'm telling you. And all of these years when I couldn't grow spinach, I wish I'd have known about eating the sweet potatoes, the sweet potato leaves, because it's good. So anyway, there's that. I cut up the cantaloupe. Doesn't that look delicious? Oh, you ought to smell in here. It smells so good. And then the T-bone steak bones that I cooked down, I just made beef broth and stewed some potatoes and onions in it. And we're just going to eat it kind of like a French onion soup, but not really. just a thin soup. I love soup. Okay, that's it for supper tonight. And as everybody on Hee Haw used to say, after he would finish whatever he was serving, they'd all go, yum, yum. And so I'm saying, yum, yum. Hope you try Snake Gourd in your garden next year. I certainly will. Thank you.